Rabbi Elem Dumizul, coming to you on the platform of Life Spirit of AmenCamp.com. We extend this special invitation to a special few who demand the best. Those that are not easily taken by emotions, convinced by logic, seduced by hollow promises, or deceived by flattery of words, or anything that comes as a blessing. Welcome to Life Spirit of Amen Camp. Visit and connect, subscribe, and also read our blog, lifespiritofamencamp.com. Please do not settle for anything less than God. We use the word God in protest, in quotation marks, because that is the term that many and the majority today understand as a reference to the Creator. To understand the truth, untapped human brain, we must consider the story of the serpent in ancient texts as compared to today's understanding of the human brain. The allegory of the serpent has come to be known to very few individuals. Those individuals who practice a certain doctrine concerning the serpent have absolute power and control and guidance on this earth. Perhaps it is only in a school and in a class of biology where we zero in on the other complex, which is the reptilian brain, where in which we will understand that it is found in almost every human being, and also, astonishing and shocking as it may be, is also found in reptiles and other animals, and gives those animals aggression, territorialism, and many other traits that have been demonstrated by mankind. Yet, our ancient ancestors knew this and taught this by way of totemism, architecture, and also this was demonstrated by our ancient kings and pharaohs who wore the serpent on their foreheads as a sign and a symbolic demonstration that they had mastered and conquered this other complex inside them. The chief goal of Life Spirit of Amen Camp is the elevation of our daily conduct such that it becomes impossible to fail to achieve our divine goals. Therefore, these divine goals or aims can be achieved, and by them also all our physical desires and our physical abilities can easily be released and attained. Any formula that gives you this so-called attainment other than our ancestral faith is a fake. It is not to be followed. So, at the end of the day, you do not settle for anything less than God if you follow our Hamitic, Kemetic spirituality. The prevalence of evil on earth perpetrated by humans bears testimony to the fact that the many, including even so-called educated and philosophical, operate on a platform equal and similar and same as any animal. Our ancestors knew humans better than any sociologist, psychologist, or educationist who is walking the earth today or ever walked the earth other than them. Our ancestors taught that the Bantu is a man or an animal who has divine potential. In other words, it is a divine spark that is buried in the flesh and blood. An animal, a dual nature type of animal, or a divine animal. All religions contradict themselves here, save only our ancestral Kemetic mysteries or Bantu philosophy. Islam, Judaism, Christianity says man was created in the image of God. They have got their scripture to prove it. Then man is from dust and clot of blood. The question to Islam is God a clot of blood? The question to Christianity, Judaism, and all those that sympathize with it is God from dust? Who created dust? Where did dust come from? Is God dust? No, he is not. So do not settle for anything less than God. Unknown to most, man has 4 brains in one head: the reptilian, the mammalian, the cerebral cortex, and frontal lobe. These dominate, and these are found inside your head. The reptilian and the mammalian, are lower brain structures found from oldest animals and oldest fossils, they are also all found in an unrefined state in every animal. Therefore, they are lower brain. We human beings also have the cerebral cortex and frontal lobe. And the cerebral cortex and frontal lobe interfaces with our higher self, interfaces with the Ba of the Bantu. The Ara complex and the mammalian brain are instinctive animal brains. The snake, the serpentine brain, are the associated terms that gives this term very good and clear meaning are the limbic nervous system, the emotional brain, the neo-mammalian. All these tells us that this is the zone where human imagination is found, and they lie below and under the neocortex and the frontal lobe. The Ara complex has one clear demonstration that we are going to give: territorialism. Politics, the economic structures of this world, the warped economic structures of this world, the socio-cultural status of this world, the driving, the sexual drive that human beings are being forced to drive towards bestiality. All this shows that we, as we comply, we are operating on the Ara complex. The European Berlin Conference that divided Africa was a form of territorialism, demonstrating again the Ara complex. Aggression in sports, in all other competitions, business, money making, or anything, especially in mixed martial arts, in boxing, extreme sports, and in many entertainment movies, and all other forms of entertainment, in songs, in poems. The two world wars that have shocked this earth, the street fights, the beating up of little kids, the sodomizing and the raping of small kids, the enslavement of the black people for 400 or more years, people like Pol Pot, Uganda's Amini, the civil wars that have drenched Africa, the genocide in Rwanda, Gukurahundi in Zimbabwe, the Congo wars, the Biafra wars, the conquering of North Africa by white Arabs today, the Janjaweed, the killing of our brothers in Sudan and South Sudan, and the continuous state of war on the earth clearly demonstrate that human beings have settled for something less than God. That you end up answering a question of why by saying we are human animals. These are all animalistic behavior, jungle life. Just watch the animals in the wild. They behave the same with human beings. The question that you go to the toilet and sit on a shank doesn't prove anything. It simply means that you are still an animal. All shows that human history has proved that man is really an animal. The divine spark, the high intelligence, the spirituality that we boast of, all these are merely a possible potential, not yet achieved by the masses or the majority. Have you been dominated by fear yourself? Are you always angry? Do you subscribe to violence? Do you subscribe to sensuality? Are you greed? Do you love competition, cruelty, sexual perversion? What is your most favorable form of entertainment? Do you love violent movies, bloody war movies? Do you love horror movies, extreme sports, cruel others? It will mean that you are being driven and programmed to operate on your reptilian mind. Look at Christianity. Look at the horrendous death of Jesus Christ. Look and watch the movie, The Passion of the Christ, to understand that you are settling for something less than God. It is impossible then for a bloody shocked religious philosophy like Christianity, Judaism, or Islam to teach the Ara complex. It is quite impossible. Their religions and the religious ideas cultivate spiritual ideas and actions that must satisfy and allow the Ara complex, the animal man, to demonstrate his animal nature, so-called human nature. Therefore, finding outlet for animal anger and evil energy. Their God too gets quite angry. Their God too is a God who kills those that don't follow him. Is a God who wants to force people to worship him. Their God is a jealous God, a wrathful God, a revenge-filled deity. It is a God of war. He is a God who loves disaster, who creates Sodom, who creates the flood of Noah, who destroys millions and millions in jihad wars that have destroyed Northeast Africa. He loves territory, this God. He promised the land of Canaan. He promised the land of Canaan. He promised all of this earth to some people who fight today and drench this earth using the Ara complex. Where is your religion? Where is your spirituality? What has happened to the divine intellect? Why has man descended to such a level? Why, if man was created in the image of God, could he behave anything better? Because the best animalistic traits that we see in their God causes them to settle for that which is there. Man can never rise any higher than that which they are programmed to believe. How then can you release your life from this cell? How can you release your life from this mental slavery? How can you release yourself and become that which is divine? When we look at all religions, save the only one of our ancestors, we realize that all of them have failed or compromised the one fact taught by the original ancestral African philosophy. Man is an animal in which divinity is a mere spark. A potential for full explosion is activated by will, desire, study, and an ending quest for perfection. Others teach that grace has come. Others teach that all divine nature was put in one man who died on a cross. And by so doing, they created a license for failure, a license for sin. Do not settle for anything less than Amen. Do not settle for anything less than God. The fundamental principles of Comitian life spirit of Amen is the divinity of man. Given that the human man is the source of evil, life spirit of Amen reveals the principles, laws, the rituals, the diet, the probable relationships that you must have, knowledge and the sources of that knowledge and wisdom that will eventually subjugate and tame the beast that is the human nature that we ride in, by constantly showering it by the divine. No other religion has this program, because this program is based on one entity that is missing in many religions, that is missing in Christianity, missing in Judaism, missing in Islam, and missing in many others, save only our ancestral faith. And that component is totems. 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 Utupo, utupo, utupo is wrong, is wrong, is wrong. Without this foundation, you have no bricks to build anything. Subscribe and spread the message that you should not settle for anything less than God. The law of Amen states that man's natural response to challenges and adversities should be calmness and peace, kudzikama, as opposed to emotional outlets of anger, fear, grief, lust, and distraction, which is an animal brain demonstrated by Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and many other religions, and even some of our own black brothers and black kings demonstrate this animal spirit. Oh, grant thou unto me a path whereon I may pass in peace, for I am just and true. I have not spoken lies wittingly, nor have I done aught with deceit. Amen. From the African Book of Rituals, Utterance 10 to Petition 3, Ritual chapter 15. Thank you. Goodbye.